sit down. I got something to talk about. I found this model airplane in the basement, and it brings back memories of the stories your grandma used to tell me back when I was a child. You see, I was born during mid-World War II. The story has some interesting cultural aspects that you might like to hear about. In the few months before she was able to travel to America, your grandma went to a village in the mountains. Among the villagers were actually a number of refugees just like her. They all stayed in this remote location to hide from the Japanese that would come by and bomb the cities every day. Because of this, the villagers were always on high alert because they didn't like the prospect of the Japanese finding their village, coming by, and bombing it. So they implemented ideas and ways to be able to tell if something bad is happening. Like, for example, just as your grandma used to tell me that if there were three planes that are next to each other, that's very bad. They will spread out and they will bomb the entire area. Your grandma was able to set up a makeshift bomb shelter and hospital in the mountains. The wounded were carried there, and those who sought refuge from the bombings went there as well. Many of the villagers had never seen an airplane before. Mothers would cup their babies' mouths so that their crying would not attract any planes that flew overhead. The bombings also drove people insane. There were many that would lay on the ground, hoping that the danger would just go away. So, now we're at the part where I can tell you about an interesting event that occurred while your grandmother was in the village. The setting was on a calm, peaceful afternoon. Babies were sleeping in the tall grass. Children were playing with the ducks and the chickens and the cows that lived in the farmlands. And the other grown-ups were just standing around, enjoying the sunshine and just talking to each other pleasantly about New Year's and such. Around the same era, there's this woman who was considered as the village crazy lady. On this day, she was wearing her crazy lady clothes of reds and greens, and she put on a headdress as well. The headdress has a bunch of small mirrors of them, some of which were waving around quickly on red stalks. I would say they actually look like these mirrors. Here, take a look. When she made it to the river, she dipped her hands into the water, then flung the droplets everywhere. It's very interesting. Then she pulled out her long white undergarments and she started dancing around like a fanning motion of sorts right next to the river. And right next to the river, the water was flowing and the sun was shining, so then the light that came down and touched her and touched the water reflected like a giant mirror. And the villagers that the woman was trying to signal towards the Japanese, one of the villagers immediately responded by whispering, "She's signaling the planes." And by doing so, the groups around them started rallying together and focusing on stopping the dancing woman. Your grandma argued that she was just crazy but harmless, but the people insisted that the lady was a spy for the Japanese and continued down towards the river. Your grandmother then suggested taking the headdress would be the right course of action, but the crazy lady refused to do that. When the villagers got close enough, they asked, "Are you a spy? Are you?" And the lady replied with a cunning look in her eyes, "Yes, I have great powers. I make the sky rain fire. Me, I did that. Leave me alone or I will do it again." She edged towards the river as if she was about to run, but she wouldn't have made it very far because she had balanced feet. A large rock then flew towards the crazy lady, and knocked her in the head. The crazy lady was pretty much dead at this point. The villagers moved in, took out some more rocks, some heavier ones, near the river, and pounded her head, making sure that she was dead. Your mother, not particularly excited about attempting to cure death, just went about her business and returned to the village. Your grandmother left China about 6 months after the stoning and arrived in New York Harbor. Since my earliest of days, these are the stories that your grandma used to tell me while I was a young child. It's left some impacting memories. But as for now though, here's something that you should probably take away from this story. Watch out for planes that come in threes. If they spread out, you know that they will drop bombs.